Well, then let's turn them on.
Who's opening doors in this house? That's you? Okay. Who is this? Is this anybody, or is this just, we're just looking at a random event here?
If you're a little ghost child and you're going to wait till Ryan Bergara closes his eyes, and then when he opens them, you're going to be standing in the corner of his room in shadow, but he'll be able to make out your ghastly little figure. To go ahead and turn that light off. Right.
Oh, fuck. Did you see that?
Lightning?
A flash of lightning at the same time that turned off.
The heavens are opening up.
That was horrific.
Unfortunately for the parents, and what they couldn't have known then, was they were already caught in a web of events that would eventually lead to what Andrea Perron would later call, quote, the most terrifying night of her life. It all started around 1974. Carolyn Perron was lying on the sofa in the living room when suddenly she felt a sharp pain in her calf muscle. The muscle began to spasm, and when she looked closer, she noticed a pool of blood right where she'd felt the injury. She scanned the sofa for bees or anything else that could have stung her leg, but found nothing.
You know, when you wake up in a pool of your own blood, the first thought is,
Fuck, are there bees here?
where's that dang bee? He got me again. You know how all bees stab you with a machete?
Let me scan for bees, really.
This is where she was lying when she got stabbed by what she, I guess, assumed was bees, as one would assume. But we don't have to talk about that right now. It's certainly an odd thing to assume.
Well, you know, you jump to conclusions when you feel a stabbing pain in a place where you usually take nice little naps.
I'm lying on the couch where you attacked Carolyn Perron, whatever is in this house. Now we're both sitting on the couch.
What do you think of that?
Why did you attack her? Is this your couch? Is this your house?
What's your deal, ma'am? What's all this then? What are you doing? What are you doing in here? We know a lot of stuff has gone down in here. We got some Ouija boards over there? Ryan, what do you think about that?
We're gonna use those later for a seance.
But you don't approve of Ouija boards, do you?
No, I don't. But I also don't approve of not getting evidence in our final season.
Oh, well, that's gonna be a rough one for you then.
Well, we already got a door opening. Could
I
you
guess
close
so.
that door? Whatever's inside this house, can you close that door? Just to show us that you're here.
Go ahead, close that door.
Oh, my hand's shaking.
Did the door close?
No.
Oh, okay. Mark that down as a point for the Shanians.
What a dick. Unbelievable.
As to why Carolyn was being targeted, Andrea Perron believed that, quote, whoever the spirit was, she perceived herself to be mistress of the house, and she resented the competition my mother posed for that position, end quote. After being attacked in the living room, Carolyn and Roger Perron had had enough. Desperate and in need of answers, the Warrens were finally called in.
Oh boy. Let's go, baby. Do you think ghosts talk among themselves? And they know?
The Warrens.
Yeah, they're like, wow, we must be doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
We've made it to the big leagues.
And then we show up and they're like, oh, okay.
These two walk in. Dude, I think we're gonna be in a James Wan film.
Ed and Lorraine Warren had founded the New England Society for Psychic Research in 1952, and at that time were arguably the most famous paranormal experts in the US. Their investigations include that of the Amityville house, as well as the possession of a Raggedy Ann doll thought to be haunted by unsolved alumnus Annabelle Higgins.
Your good old
Unsolved
pal.
alumnus. That's sweet.
Your good old pal Annabelle.
Yeah, raggedy ass
She
brats.
did say she was going to kill you.
Hey, keep at it, I guess.
The Warrens arrived in Rhode Island and began their investigation. Upon seeing Carolyn Perron's injury, the Warrens became convinced that the demonic presence who had harmed her was none other than the former neighbor of the Arnold estate, Bathsheba Sherman. Born in 1812, Bathsheba Sherman lived on the farm just next door to the Arnold estate with her husband, Judson. During her lifetime, Bathsheba had come under scrutiny after an infant mysteriously died in her care. The baby was examined, and it was determined that the death was caused by a large sewing needle piercing the base of its skull. Branded a witch, local townspeople suspected that Bathsheba had killed the child to sacrifice it to the devil.
I can't be doing that.
Stabbing babies in the head?
Yes.
That's a pretty strong stance to take on that one. Are you sure?
Yeah. You know, we don't
We
like
have-
to get too political on this show.
Yeah,
but
I know.
That's one that we're going to draw a line.
That's a real brave thing of you to say,
Don't stab a baby in the head.
specifically with a sewing needle.
And yeah, I'll go one step further with anything.
How to create a healthcare marketing strategy to get more patients. First, conduct comprehensive online and offline research to identify and establish your target audience. Your ideal patient is also targeted by your competitors. Do research on your competition to see what is working for them. You can use the internet, TV, and billboards or other media to compile information. Perform a SWOT analysis of your practice to evaluate your strengths as well as weak areas. Evaluate, prioritize, and organize the combination of specific marketing strategies and tactics that will be best suited for your ideal patient base. Lastly, create measurable goals and outcomes and establish a marketing budget. Evaluate the return on your investment using your goals and monitor your active campaigns to adjust strategies as needed. By having a sound healthcare marketing strategy in place, you can focus more of your time and energy on providing great care to your patients. Need help with developing and executing healthcare marketing strategies? Give us a call or visit www.gmrwebteam.com. For more tips, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
There is no evidence of a court case finding her innocent, but her name was legally cleared, though the public was never convinced, and neither was Lorraine Warren. Now sure that the demonic presence in the Arnold estate was Bathsheba Sherman, Warren posited that she could have taken the sewing needle with her to the afterlife and used it to stab Carolyn on the couch.
It doesn't look good if a baby is stabbed in the head and you're the last person to have been taken care of.
No, I like that they're like, well, the town still didn't like her after that. And it's like, yeah, because she was watching a baby and the baby got stabbed.
It's not great. Sucks if she didn't do it, but I
Yeah.
mean,
The lady was like, well, they said I was a witch, but they didn't have any proof, even though that baby did get stabbed.
to be fair, have we checked the neighborhood for bees?
Bathsheba Sherman died in May 1885, and some legends claim that the suspected witch's body, quote, literally turned to stone, end quote, upon her death, while others believe she died from a, quote, bizarre form of paralysis, end quote. No matter how Bathsheba died, however, it was now up to the Warrens to figure out why she had come back. They decided the best way to communicate with her was to hold a seance. In 2013, Lorraine Warren told USA Today of the seance at the Arnold estate. Quote, the things that went on there were just incredibly frightening. It still affects me to talk about it today, end quote.
It's time for another seance.
This is the very room in which they performed the exorcism with the Warrens.
That's great.
And now we're gonna have a seance.
Yeah, have a blast.
Of course, we have our Ouija board right here.
Yeah.
And we have our candles. We got the planchette. But no good seance is performed without protection. So I got something that you're gonna really like.
We got condoms? What are you doing? What is going on right now? What is that? You brought...
I'm packing.
Oh, your little friends.
I got 2 guns, one for each of us.
I get one? Is
That's
this holy
right.
water?
That's holy water, baby. And as always, with a seance, you do need an offering. And I thought, what better offering than the treats that they hand to us on the plane, the ones you don't really like. These are honey graham crackers. So, here you go. Just Put a cup. Are you drinking the holy water? It's disgusting. Now, you'll notice that I do have a gat in my hand, but that's just in case you try and pull any, throwy business. If you try and throw me, you get sprayed. You talk to me out of turn, you get sprayed. You touch any of us where the sun don't shine,
You get sprayed.
you're getting wet. Just setting the rules here. Those are my boundaries. And my therapist says it's very important to set boundaries.
And these ghosts, this is primarily for the demons, huh? Because ghosts don't give a shit about water, right?
Is mine loaded? No, it's loaded.
Oh, why would you do that?
The night of the seance, Roger and Carolyn Perrin made sure the children were kept away. But that didn't stop Andrea and her sister Cindy from secretly watching everything that transpired that night. According to Andrea, once the seance started, quote, "I thought I was going to pass out. My mother began to speak a language not of this world, in a voice not her own. Her chair levitated," end quote, and quote, "a power not of this world